Welcome back, everyone. We are going to be working on this episode on this 1971 Pontiac Ventura II. The last video we've done, we removed the fuel tank, the interior, and we assessed the damages that were done on the rear tail panel. Let me show you what I'm talking about and we'll see what we're going to do. I think we're going to replace the rear tail panel and we're going to build one because there are none available for this car. Hold on, I'll just show you that. As you can see, we have removed the bumper and the tail lights off this car. I got new lighting, so it should be better. The last video I had, the lights flickered quite a bit. So it's been damaged at one time, and you can see that it's pretty banged up inside. So this is pretty much all body filler. I removed a great big chunk of it right there, but apart from that, there's no rust on this car. This is the only place that there's any rust because it was probably badly done. Same thing on this side. You can see it's banged up inside. So what our plans are today is we're going to build another one out of a Nova rear tail panel. There is no videos out there showing you how to do this, so we're going to wing it and see what we come up with. Otherwise, I'll have to, if that don't work, I'm going to have to get a donor tail panel for Pontiac Ventura. But you know what? You don't try, you won't know. So stay tuned. This is what I've got right now. I've already prepped a little on this thing. C-clamped it to this bench here. And what I've done is I removed the internal light brace that goes in here. And the other one is still on there. See, what I use is a die grinder to remove those instead of spot weld drill bits. So what I done is I measured. It is 21 inches between this end here and that end there, and I found the center, and then I measured it all out, and this is where that hole has to be. So what we're going to do is I got a double line here. The inside line, not the outside, the inside line is where we're cutting all around here. Now I made some specialty tools there. I mean, anybody can do it. This is what we're going to be using. Basically what's on the floor here. Die grinder. That thing is very dangerous. The death wheel here. Some cold stock. Some flat pieces of metal here, and I had this machine down because I'll show you why in a few minutes. And these here are the light corners. Why are there two? One is here is rounded off, so that's going to be inside when we're going to be folding the metal. This one here is going to be on the top, and it's going to be braced, sandwiched together, so the sheet metal don't bend or warp. So when that's going to be braced together, then I'll be able to hammer and dolly this down all the way around in curves. I also got a round cold stock for the corners. So let's start cutting and take chances. we got that hole done. All we need now is to put our dollies in the back and start working her around. Okay, I put in these dollies. They're held on there with these big C-clamps. And let's see now. On the other side, she should be good to go. I don't know. We'll see. I'll get this thing clamped down to the bench and then we'll start hammering dolling. All right, I got this door panel hammer and we're gonna work our way down. Show you. I don't know if you can see this right or not. It's curved, nice and even. Like, I've never done this before. I'm just watching what's going on YouTube for metal shaping and forming, and they convinced me that it could be done just by watching on these videos. So hopefully I can get the rest of this pretty much done. So I'm going to leave this bracing here, and I'm going to put the one on the bottom here, and we're going to fold this one up. We're going to need a bit of heat on this section right here, because there's like previous lip and all that stuff. But you know what? I'm just going to put my bracing on there and leave it like that. All right, I'll just flip this around. Okay, what I have done is I installed this metal bracing on the top, and there's one underneath, and it's held on with all these vice grip clamps. You need a lot of these clamps if you want to make a good job like this. Like I said, I've never done this before, but you know what? So far that corner, I'm pretty happy about that. So let's start shaping this one here, and I'll set you up so you guys can watch all my failures. Hopefully there won't be that many. All right. This is a Canadian version of Not Much Moto Master out of Canadian Tire. So whoever wants one of these things, I mean, I'm sure there's better brands out there, but hey, this works for me. Nice fold all the way across. You know, it's not like the factory, but it's a whole lot better than filling it in with Bondo and trying to make something. Yeah, I still got a little bit there. I'll be able to pound that in. All right, well, you guys get the message and how to do it. I'm going to wait till that cools off, and then we're going to do this side. All right. I don't know if you remember the piece that I told you that was milled. It's not squared. It has an angle to it, because here there's an angle here. So you put that in there, it fits just perfect. Nice and snug like that, the way you want. Now I'm gonna prep it and get it ready to be put on there. All right, I'll show you what I've done. I created that factory lip See that? Right here I'm gonna address it there, but here it's pretty good. Now I'm gonna flip it the other way and we'll put a light in there and see what it does, you know, just for laughing giggles. Well, what do you think, folks? This is just one side. It's a lot of work. If you pull this out, you see all the curvatures, factory curvatures that I've done. That I'm going to cut out because I got to make the original brackets to hold the light. But still, no banging to put it in there. Fits right in there, just like it's supposed to. All good, all sealed all around. Yeah, I'm psyched. Pontiac Ventura rear taillight. So I'm going to call this a day for today, and we'll come back and finish this side up. We got to make these things here. These bracketries here. Maybe I'll just cut this one out. Just cut it right out, and we can probably reuse. I can probably fix all that and reuse all of this, because I already got another one here. This is a backing plate there to hold the light. That's already prepped, but I think, you know, if it's not rotten or like that, I don't think it is. I can just probably just cut all around it and just take that whole piece out, and we'll stitch weld inside. Right in here. In places of these things, I'll just cut these right off like that, and it'll be stitch weld right in there. What do you think of that? Leave me any comments what you thought about this. It's not perfect. I'm not a body man. I'm a mechanic, but you know what? For my first time, I think it's pretty good. And it's for me, so it's not for nobody, so I'm not making this for anybody. And just clamping it down didn't dent it nowhere. Metal stayed straight. Yep. I'm pretty glad. So when I'm going to be done this and then done the other side, then I got to pre-punch the holes in the back there for the Pontiac emblem back here. So this is going to be the rear tail panel that AMD. If you want the part number, well, I can give that to you right now. That's the part number for the rear taillight for a 70 to 72 Nova. And I know it's a modification, but it fits right on the car. It's the same quarters, same rear bumper, the filler, everything. So yeah, let me know what you think. I mean, I'm really psyched. Now we got the right side tail light hole modified. Let's go on and do the left side. We're going to start by removing these spot welds here. There's 4 spot welds. I already knocked one out. I'm going to use this little die grinder with a small diamond bit. You guys are wondering what the diamond bit looks like. It's a very small one, very effective, very dangerous. Now we're going to trace this, the hole we're going to cut like the other one, measuring (21 inches) from this end here to this end here. which is the Pontiac specification, not the Nova. I know I said on a previous video it was 21 inches from here to over where it was, but that's false. The Pontiac's spread between both these taillights is 21 inches. All right, let's get this thing marked down. See if I have a hole saw to cut this radius better than the last time I used a set of tin shears. Let me go grab one. Put both clamps on. Prevent the sheet metal from bending when I start banging on it. Okay, you got a better clamp on there. Let's start bending. Bent it back off camera though,
with these vice grips. You know what? I think it went better than the last time. I don't have any big flat nosed vice grips, which would be practical. I might go get some of those. I don't have any of those, but you know what? It's pretty much straight. All right. Now I'll take all this stuff off and put it on that side. All right. I know this looks like a disaster. I'm gonna work my way over this way, and the closer I get to these clamps, then I'll remove the clamp and move it over, I guess. And there's nothing hard about, nothing easy about this. Let's try. So far I did not need any heat on this side, so I don't know. Let's. We're gonna cut these tabs off. I'm going to clean this up, flip it around, and we'll see what it looks like with the lights in. Well, that's not a finished product, but it's looking good. We've got the Pontiac emblem there on there. Now what I got to do next is the brackets that hold the light. Here's the example here. All right. There's a bracket back here that I salvaged. It would have to be welded on the back of these with little tabs on each side and underneath to hold the lights in its pockets. So that's it for today, and we'll be back and continue on this project. New day here. I took the liberty to remove the bracket from behind the car here. I'll show you. I cut this, I've melted the lead that was here and down here. There was a bit of Bondo, not too much. And cut that out because I'm going to try to salvage this bracket here. I don't know, we'll see. I might have to make a new one, I don't know. This here is fine, but this tab is bent all to crap. It's supposed to be nice and straight. I might knock out the spot welds and try to straighten that out as much as I can, so we can weld it behind the new tail panel. All right, stay tuned. The other day I took the brackets, well, only on one side, driver's side, left side, for the rear tail panel, and I cleaned this one up and straightened it out. Looks pretty straight now. There's no rust, there's no rot or nothing. And I started cutting up some of the parts like this here. These are pieces that I'm going to be trimming off to hold this bracket here, like so, like that. And I'll show you where it's going to go. It's gonna be welded here on the back side here of this tail panel, but I gotta prepare this. This is the top part actually, like this, goes like this, and I gotta trim off 1 inch all the way across, 1/4 of an inch all the way around to make 1 1/4 inch, and it's gonna be stitch weld on the end of it. I'll get these prepared and mocked up, and I'll get right back to you. Okay, I've trimmed the bottom little piece that holds the bracket. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I put a magnet, and we're going to stitch weld that right there on the edge. I'll start with that. Well, let's Let's see what happens. Okay, I got this second piece cleaned up. We are going to place it here with magnets and tack weld it in place. I made some lines to center it up. So that's basically where it's going to go. I got this piece here. I'm going to use this as a template to see if the holes line up. And they really do. Hold on a sec, I'll show you. You can actually see the spot well where my thumb is, right here, there, up here, here, and way down there. Now, we're gonna make them that they're going to line up here. I know you see the car back there. The top two line up, the bottom two line up. So we're going to spot weld that in place. She's in place. And I'm going to hook you up here and we're going to spot weld her in. Welds aren't too bad. And they're penetrating. Get you a view on this side. Going to be almost like a factory look, but I'm not welding them in full until I get the outer tabs on each end and make sure that it fits on there perfectly. And when it fits on there perfectly, then I'll weld it before I weld the back piece on. So that's what it's looking like. I just test fitted this light and the spot weld hole lines up on all four corners of here. I tightened up the screws and the light is very tight now, right against it. I just put in this small tab here with the screw because that's where the spot weld is going to be. So I got a stitch weld right along the seam in here. All right, I got this tacked in. And the weld's pretty good because she's going right through. So it's actually apart, you know, from this top one there, blowout there. I'll fix that. But I had to play around with the settings on the old MIG. I got this corner here, but you know, she's tacked in there. And it's looking good. Pretty much nice and even, so when I weld her in pretty good thereafter, when I'm going to be done. I'm no welder at all, but you know, it's burning in there pretty good. And I'll show you what it looks like with the light bracket once it's going to be on there. Gonna line up pretty good too. Yeah, factory. Not quite, but almost. That's what we're looking for. Okay, now I'm gonna start working on this side now. Then I'll go step by step there, and we're going to, you and I, when I say we, I'm by myself here. So it's me and you. We're gonna cut this one out and melt the lead on the corner. Show you that too. What I done, especially on over here. Don't mind my pimples here. This is no good. So that was testing my heat right here. So I'm going to melt the lead like we've done here, then cut all around it and salvage this piece here. See, it's all bent. The other one was bent pretty bad too. I'm going to straighten it all out, clean it up, remove these tabs all the way around, and salvage them so we can weld them onto the new tail panel. So let's get going. Well, there you have it. This one here, the spot weld was already off. Like it wasn't holding nothing. So we're going to be keeping these tabs, and I'll show you what I do to make them fit on that rear tail panel. Okay, let's locate the spot welds that are left, and then we'll cut them out with this die grinder here. If you can see this, you see like a little mark. You see those little circles there where I grinded it down here? That's the spot weld. Right here, little circle. So now we're going to die grind it out with the diamond bit. Start by this lonely one here.
start by straightening this puppy out. Let's do that. Alright. Now we're going to clean it up, Scotch Brite it all around, make it look nice and new. It's not perfect, but you know what? It came out nice and straight. There's probably some low spots, but not that much. Now to prepare the small pieces. We're going to start with this one here because it's a closer one than this longer one here. So I'm going to cut this off with shears. I did pretty much all of it with shears anyway. All right. Okay, we're going to straighten this out. Okay, just do a test here on my depth. Should be 1 1/4 inches, and I got more than that. I still got 1/8 of an inch too much. So let's take a little bit off here. To prepare the top one. Okay, well now we're going to prepare the upper part. Do the same thing. I'm going to cut it right off here because the tab, well, that's later. Center with center and put our magnets on. We're going to verify that we have what we're looking for. 1 1/4 inch depth. Inch and a quarter. Yes, sir.
Looking good. Let's place our magnets and get ready to spot weld it.
Hey, this is a new day. We're going to continue on this tail panel for the 1971 Ventura II. And I don't know if we can see this or not. That tail panel right there. I got a few pieces to weld, like this piece right here. Fix that up, clean that up, and it's going to go right in there. And I got this one here to cut up and mock up. So let's get going. Perfect. Okay, let's get this ready to spot weld in its place. I'm not going to go any farther than that. You see there's little weld marks, but that's not holes. Something with metal filler, I can fix that. Same thing with this. Looks pretty much like it was in the factory. Not factory, but you know what? I'm happy with it. It's better than what the other one was. All right, we're going to start prepping the back plates now. What I want to do is fill in these spot weld holes. Hope I can do it. I use my brass punch. Seems to work good. Okay, I temporarily put the light in there. What I'm going to do I'm going to put a tack weld in here and in here, and it'll hold it in its place. Right now I needed the light in there to make sure that it's in the correct position. And so far it is. It's in the correct position. So I'm going to tack weld it now, this piece onto the small tabs. That'll never show, hidden like it is. There. A rosette weld. That's one that I burnt through. And a couple of pinholes, I'll fill those out right now. That one there. That. Then I turn the heat down a little bit. But apart from that, it's a factory look, all right. I'm getting pretty happy about it. It won't be all full of body filler and all that crap. Yep. Here's what the results are. Just the way it was. Now with the hole being wider. Backside. That's the factory Pontiac Ventura bracket that's in the back. This is the factory Pontiac Ventura bracing that I welded back onto this tail panel. The only thing I done was re-edge the edges here with my die. Oh yeah, and I put this Pontiac emblem on there, pierced the holes for that, drilled them out. My welding is not perfect, so you can criticize me if you want. That's fine. I'll get better. I'll promise you. I will get better. If you're like me, ego's a thing. When you get criticized, you just get better and you just practice. So this is what it looks like right now. And now I'll put the lights on. Well, there it is with the lights on. Perfect fit. The gaps are perfect. Everything is good. Don't forget, fellas, 21 inches from this edge to this edge on the Pontiac. I'm not on the Nova. I made that mistake there saying that it was 21 inches on this one here, but it's wrong. It's actually on the Pontiac. Let me know what you think. Factory nuts for the emblem. And these rear tail panels, by the way, they don't come perfect. See, that one there came pretty much no problem at all. But this one here has a ding here, there, here. And get this, this whole corner is caved in. I don't know. This is AMD, but you know what? It don't matter where it comes from. Stuff like this is bound to happen. Yes, it's repairable. I can fix that. I mean, it's no big deal. You can probably see the the dings right there. Anyway, if you like what you've seen, give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will continue on showing you more episodes on this Pontiac Ventura. I want to put it on a frame jig. Now I'm going to show you something here. This is not supposed to be on video yet because it's going to be other episodes, but it's going on that frame jig right there. That frame jig is very solid. It'll tighten down the car as much as it can. But in order to do that, I'm going to be removing the front clip, frame, subframe, engine, glass, and then my wife and I is going to pick the car up and we're going to roll the frame jig underneath just to make sure that, since I got to straighten out the trunk pan, in case there's something else that's bent, the frame jig will tell me. All right, catch you on the next one. Thank you.